welcome to Flx Matters on this Friday morning. Today we have Jenni Carberry with us. Now Jenni Carberry spends a lot of time on buses and also coaching. So you're probably thinking she's in the transport business, but actually she is in the education sector. So we'll talk about the education bus and explain why buses. Hi Jenni, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. You?
Yeah, not too bad. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about your links to Felixstowe and just in general.
Well, I moved to Felixstowe when I was 8 years old from Sunbury-on-Thames in Middlesex because we moved here to be closer to relatives who have sadly passed on.
Okay.
And we thought we used to come to Felixstowe on holidays and play on the beach, and it was like, me and my brother were, wow, we could go to the beach every day. So New Year's Day, we were there in our wellies,
nice.
making sandcastles. And I lived in Felixstowe until I was 22, and then I went to the bright and shiny lights of Ipswich.
Ooh.
But my mother and brother still live here, so obviously I went to school here. So I care a lot about Felixstowe and making a difference in Felixstowe, and hopefully try to do that through my work because I work for an educational charity called the Suffolk Education Business Partnership.
Okay, so before we get into that, are there any hobbies that you have? Is there something you like doing? You were mentioning cat rescue.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate in that I work with, well, not work, but try and help when I can. With a sort of a rescue group, and I foster cats as well as my 3. And my last cat was foster cat was called Esme, and she only had 3 legs.
Oh, really?
And she actually came from Sittingbourne. Unfortunately, we were in Ashford in Kent that weekend, so we picked her up and brought her down. And it's nice to do a little bit and try and help.
So with the fostered cat, how long do you keep them for?
It can vary from a couple of days to 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, really? So it's not a long period of time at all then?
Fortunately, no, because you do end up getting attached, and there's been times where I've taken a cat round to their lovely new forever home and left in tears.
Oh, no.
Because I've bonded, but I've been told by my husband I'm not allowed any more than the 3 I've got. So I have to harden my heart now.
I keep telling my wife the same thing. And then they keep multiplying. Oh, dear. So, I'm not going to say it, I'm going to let you say it. So what is your job? Where do you work?
I'm an area manager for actually North Suffolk, but I do get to do a few events in Felixstowe. The Suffolk Education Business Partnership is a charity limited by guarantee, and quite simply our remit is to link young people to the world of work.
Oh, right, okay. So I in the intro I alluded to a bus. So what's all this about?
I am the project manager for the Go With The Flow youth bus, and basically it's a bright blue double-decker bus, you can't miss it, and it goes out in North Suffolk, so it goes to Aldeburgh, Saxmundham, Wickham Market and Bennell in the evenings, and it's a mobile youth service for young people that live in isolated parishes and might not get the opportunity to go and socialise in a safe place. So I have a fantastic team of youth workers. The bus has had all the seating and everything ripped out, so now you've got 2 flat screen TVs, 2 games consoles, laptops, a private meeting room, so if the young people need to speak to a youth worker confidentially they can. It's fantastic, and we do lots of different activities. We were carving pumpkins on Wednesday night. The young people can have a disco. They've got a little pool table in there. So it's a really good venue.
It sounds like a mobile sort of I don't know, Friday night club or something.
Yes.
So presumably that means that people come along who can potentially help young children in these sort of areas as well when you need them to be there, I guess. Yeah,
we have obviously our trained youth workers, but what we're looking to do now is recruit volunteers actually, 18 and above, to come and work with the young people too, because nowadays, as it's so much harder for young people to get work, the work experience that they can get from, say, like volunteering on the bus and in other places, it's absolutely invaluable. So they've got something to put on their CVs.
Brilliant. So how did you get involved in sort of the education area.
And
What brought you there?
I was one of these people that I never knew what I wanted to do, and I have to say the careers advice at school was practically non-existent. It was a crusty old geography teacher, and he didn't really have many ideas. Women went into banking and shipping in Felixstowe, and men, worked down the docks, and that was really it.
I thought you were going to say you put a dartboard up and
it was a bit like that. And fortunately, careers advice in schools has evolved. But I never really knew what I wanted to do. But I always had a job. So I started off in Woolies in Felixstowe, Saturday job. And then I went into banking. And then I decided to go back and do A-levels, and then went to university, which was brilliant. And then went back into banking, and then finally got to BT, which I have to say was brilliant. It really turned it around for me, because I really enjoyed being a project manager, and also as well I think it taught me a valuable lesson in that you could be yourself. You didn't have to be this different person, because I think young people think you have to be really dull and boring sometimes in jobs, whereas at BT I could be a more professional version of me. It's about using your talents and skills that you have, and just using them in the workplace. So being a project manager, because I was very good at talking to people, I could often get people to do what I wanted. I call myself a friendly stalker, really. I say that now in my current job in education, and I made so many good friends and business links in BT too. But then I enjoyed it, but it wasn't what I wanted to do, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then I got an opportunity to participate in an event called Suffolk Skills, which BT were running. And I had to do a CV workshop for Year 11 students, that's 15 to 16-year-olds. And I was like, oh my word, what am I going to do? So I sat down and I thought about how a student, how the best way to approach it. And I didn't sleep a wink the night before.
No.
And so I ran these workshops, and they went really, really well. And the nice thing was, when I was getting them to list all the different activities they did, which could count as work experience, so like babysitting, because it's a responsible job. Even helping your gran going shopping. And one of the young people said, oh, I'm a prefect at school. I said, yeah, put it down. And it was wonderful seeing like the light bulb moments. And so when a young person said thank you to me at the end of the session, it really meant a lot. So I got the opportunity to do that several times over the next 18 months, and also do mock interviews. And then I finally thought, this is what I want to do.
So you finally found out. You had your light bulb moment, I guess.
I did. And what I wanted to do was actually help young people find what they wanted to do, hopefully a bit quicker than me, but also help them think about the skills they needed to develop to be in the workplace, so the employability skills, like customer service, problem solving, team working, just getting them to realise that they've got potential.
So with that light bulb moment of what you want to do, how does that now relate to what you're doing? So you've got a bus. What other areas? I noticed the triangle badge, for example, on you. What's
STEM badge. I love this because I'm a huge sci-fi fan as well, and I always think it's like a Star Trek badge. It's about being.
Press it.
I wish. That would be so fantastic to go into space. No, a STEM ambassador is a science, technology, engineering, mathematics ambassador, and basically they're role models for those subjects to go into school and work with young people. They can do that at an event that, say, the Suffolk Education Business Partnership runs, or the school might run, so they could be doing like mock interviews or mentoring. But a lot of business people say, I'd love to go and give something back to schools, but I don't know how to get into schools. And this is where the Suffolk EBP can really help. So as a STEM ambassador, you get a free Criminal Records Bureau check. We also give an induction session, as well. And we make sure that you're linked up to the school, so it's not so scary for the employer, because, not being funny, it is a bit daunting going into a school and being faced sometimes by hundreds of
children,
of young people. So it's a really good way of young people, employers being able to interact with other people, and obviously you get the badge. And
I'm still waiting for mine.
Don't worry, I'll make sure you get one.
No, I mean, being on the other side of it, there's from a BT perspective, there's a website where you can mentor and obviously go in and to events and do stuff, which is great fun.
Yeah, and the website Brightlinks is a fantastic way of being able to link up to young people all over the country, and the knowledge that people have, so like in BT with the IT ambassador scheme that's linked to STEM, is fantastic. So it's a great way of you guys being able to share that virtually without having to leave your desk.
Indeed. So we've got STEM ambassadors. You help with work experience. So there's a whole array of different things that you're trying to do to encourage sort of young people into work, basically. At the end of the day.
Suffolk County Council obviously had to divest their services, so Suffolk Education Business Partnership, we took over the work experience programme. So schools sign up with us, and what we can do is we place young people in workplaces, but what we're trying to do is work with employers so we can get a really good work experience programme put together. We've trialled this with BT, so they had they're offering 1 week work placements where they get the attention of senior managers, the graduates, apprenticeships, and they have to actually work on specific projects. So they're not just dumped sitting next to somebody watching them type something into a computer, which is pretty dull. So what we're also doing as well is using the an online mentoring website, so employers can actually communicate safely with students before that, because it's very daunting for a young person to go into a workplace.
Yes.
So if they can be introduced to someone beforehand, even if it's virtually, and saying, "Oh, hi, I'm so and so. We're really looking forward to you coming in to the work experience. Any questions?" And then afterwards, if an employer wants to follow how the student's getting on, and you never know in the future, offer them a job, they can do that, and it's safe because no email addresses are shared.
Yes, it's very good. So work experience, volunteering, mentoring.
Mentoring, yes, we offer mentoring programs as well, and we have really great links with the Felixstowe Rotarians and also the Rotaractors who go in and mentor at Felixstowe Academy here.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah, I think there's just been another mentor training program for the Ipswich Rotary Club as well. And our mentors are fantastic because they go in and work with young people and help them, and a lot of them say a couple of years later they get stopped on the street by the young people saying, you suggested I do so and so. Well, I went and did it, and it's been fantastic, and that's lovely because sometimes with mentoring you don't see the result immediately, but you really do make a difference.
That must be a good feeling.
It is a good feeling.
So I think I probably figured out why you get up in the morning now. But but why do you love it? Is there?
I think I enjoy it because I get the chance to experience things myself. Because I run a lot of work-related learning events, and it's great bringing employers and young people together and seeing a result. We've had some fantastic events, say like when young people create a prom, and so it makes it more interesting for the boys. We do like venue, photography and transport, and it can be anything. So they're not restricted. People were coming to the prom by helicopter, but it helps them think, and it's getting them working together, problem solving, managing a project. So they're developing skills for the workplace, and I get to do really cool things too. Like one of the prizes for the Jackson Civil Engineering Challenge that was run was at that time they were working on the Orwell Bridge. So I went along with the winning team, and we actually went inside the Orwell Bridge and got to climb down it's 200 feet up to the viewing platform, and I must admit I gave myself a migraine after because I was so nervous, but I did it. And it's just it's fantastic.
So I mean it sounds like you meet wonderful people.
Yeah.
You get to experience a lot of what the young people are doing as well, I guess. So.
Yeah, and it's being able to talk to them, because the young people don't. Often the only adults they talk to are like parents or teachers.
Yeah.
So they're getting the chance to actually speak to employers. Because I don't know about you, when I was a teenager, if my mum said to me, "Oh, why have you thought about this?" I'd go, yeah, whatever. But if an adult, a stranger said, "Oh, have you considered doing this?" You go, yeah, that sounds really good, because you're listening to them.
Blank out the parent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we were in the intro again. I talked about coaching. Now obviously you're starting to with your work. You obviously get an idea of how people tick, how people are sort of why they function the way they do, I guess. So you were talking. We talked about coaching. So what is it that you're doing? It's a postgraduate.
It is, yeah. As I said, the reason why I wanted to go into education was to help young people find out what careers they'd like to go into, and part of my goal was to actually get a qualification in coaching, because I'd coached people informally in the past at BT, and also I do interview coaching in my spare time. But in order to be able to work with young people in schools, you need a specific qualification. So this year was the right year for me to do it, and so I'm studying postgraduate certificate in careers coaching, which will mean at the end of the year, academic year, I will be able to give careers advice.
And you'll be able to use that in your work, presumably, or just...
That's the plan, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, off air you mentioned level 7. Now, what on earth is a level 7?
That's just one past a degree qualification.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's postgrad.
Yeah.
And if I want to, I can go on to do a diploma the year after, and then a master's.
Oh, right, so
there's something to aim for there.
Is that a possibility, or are you going to see how this goes?
I'm going to see how this goes.
So it's a year, is it, basically?
It's until June.
And you've got to... What have you got to do in it to get...
I actually have to write a 3,000-word essay.
Okay.
And I've already started having the dreams again, which I used to have at uni, where I've turned up and that's the day that you've got to submit your essay, and I've done it. But yes, I've got to have 12 hours worth of coaching. So I can coach. It doesn't have to be about careers. I need people to come along and be coached by me for free.
Yeah.
So I can write about it in my essay. But part of that also includes I need to have 20 minutes of me coaching somebody on film. So I'm looking for somebody that would be willing to be coached and recorded.
Okay.
It's not going to be broadcast anywhere. The only people that would see it would be my two course tutors.
Yeah.
So they have to assess it. It's just to make sure that I'm doing things right. It's not so much about what the person's saying, but making sure that I'm asking the right questions.
And following the right...
Okay. Because for me, coaching, this is my favourite quote, it's unlocking people's potential to maximise their own performance.
Yeah.
And that was going back to what I said about young people. Everyone's got potential.
Yes.
But I know when I was young, I was always, when I decided to leave school after GCSEs, I was told I was making a mistake. When I decided to leave the bank to go back and do my A-levels, I was told I was making a mistake. And, it's about getting people to look inside themselves, because they've got the answers.
Yeah.
And I just feel that young people are often told a lot that, no, that's not right, but they're not given any guidance. And how about encouraging them and supporting them to come up with their own ideas, because then they'll be empowered.
So I suppose it's very easy to say to someone something negative rather than, hang on, that sounds brilliant. So is that sort of why So the coaching you've got going on, it does sound to me that if you can relate it to any part of someone's life, it's still the same methodology, the same principles of it.
Yeah, definitely.
So when you want these, do you need more than one, or can you have multiple people to test your coaching on? Dare I say?
I've got at the moment 5 clients that I'm working with.
Okay.
So really, ideally, I'm looking for my 6th one that would be happy to be filmed.
So if there's anyone out there who does fancy to have a bit of coaching, I'm free.
For free?
Oh yes, for free. And doesn't mind a camera stuck in their face for a little bit of it, then either get in contact with Flx TV or Jenny will probably leave your details with us.
Yeah.
We can put them onto the website as well. So the future holds coaching for you, and the SEBP is going to benefit from that.
Oh, definitely. My boss has been really supportive, and also the board, because we're a small charity, but we work with over 350 employers and schools across Suffolk, and so it's going to be a fantastic service to be able to offer young people as well, because it's not only going to be about careers advice. Like I say, it's the coaching element, so giving them confidence, because a lot of young people do lack self-confidence.
Yes, indeed. So for the future then, because we probably didn't ask these questions, but how big is your charity? Is there a load of? Have you got hundreds or 10 people?
No.
Is it?
We're the Magnificent 7.
Oh, there's 7 of you.
Yes.
Okay.
And we've got 3 area managers. So I'm North Suffolk, but I do dip into Felixstowe because I love Felixstowe. We have there's an area manager, Angela Edwards, who's South Suffolk, and then Andy Morby, who's West Suffolk.
Yeah.
We have the STEM team, so that's Anne and Kelly, who are fantastic, and the work experience manager, Paul. And then leading us all is my boss, Helen Scott Davies, who actually lives in Felixstowe now too.
Okay.
So yeah, you need to get her in, I think, to be interviewed, because she's done so much.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay. So 7 of you, presumably being able to access all the different possibilities of people to help you to pull all these wonderful things you're doing together. Yeah. So what's the future for SEBP?
Oh well, the future is potentially very, very bright. We're going to keep doing what we do.
Yeah.
We recently had a 20-year celebration event, because we've been around for 20 years.
Okay.
So we had about 150 people come and celebrate our birthday. And
brilliant.
It was really nice because we got the opportunity to hand out awards to people that have been working with us, including Little Bird Business Development, who are doing great work here at Felixstowe TV. And it was a really nice way of saying thank you. And also as well, it makes you realise what's been achieved by the Suffolk Education Business Partnership.
Yeah.
I've only been there 2.5 years, but it was really a proud moment to look out and see everyone, and also to introduce people. It's like being a platonic dating agency, because I work with different people across the county, and it was a great place to get them together and say, oh, could I introduce you to so-and-so? Because I meet so many fantastic people, and it's really nice to sort of link them up, and for mutual benefit as well.
Indeed.
So it was really good. Plus the fact I did actually get to order the balloons and choose the balloons, so I was very excited at that.
Were they any special type of balloons? Just out of interest?
They were our colours, so it was teal and purple. And we then donated the 21 balloons to the Dame Vera Lynn Trust Suffolk School for Parents, so their children could enjoy them as well. But we did have a few to take back to our office. So
I had images of sort of cat balloons or something like that. Anyway, yes.
No, cats and balloons don't go very well.
It's a shame.
Yes.
So just to finish off, so great future for yourself with the coaching, further prospects out there to help people, young people as well. The Suffolk Education Business
Partnership.
Partnership. I'm going to get that right at some point. It sounds like they're moving on. So how do we get in touch with if anyone young people are watching? How do they get in touch with you, or is that not how it works?
No, it's probably best for a young person if they're under 18 to get in touch via their school, because we do work with schools.
Okay.
But they're anyone's welcome to look on our website, which is www.suffolkebp.co.uk. And there's also a bit about the bus on there too.
Hey.
Yeah, love my bus. Or if somebody's very interested in volunteering, they can look on the website, but they can give us a call as well, and that's 01473 740 219.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for coming in today.
Oh, thank you.
And so that wraps up another interview on Suffolk Matters. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next week. Goodbye.